Eight of Cups reversed. The reversed Eight of Cups often means that you may be thinking about leaving a situation that seems as if it is no longer working. Receiving the card in reverse, however, points to a need to stop and think about it a bit longer. You may not have given the situation enough time yet. General, when the Eight of Cups reversed appears, it's important to keep reminding yourself that good times lie ahead for you. If your gut is telling you that you really need to get out of a relationship, job, or living arrangement, trust yourself but think long and hard, first. Look before you leap and weigh all the pros and cons, if at all possible. Work, you may be feeling a powerful urge to get out of your current work situation when you draw the reversed Eight of Cups. There is a reason why you are feeling this way. Don't disregard your feelings, but at the same time you don't have to move immediately, either. Out of frying pan, into fire, is a real danger now. Talk it over with someone you trust before making plans to go. Love, you may be feeling as though you want to end your long-term relationship if you are in one. Pulling the reversed Eight of Cups warns that you will be best off to give this some more time and thought. Sometimes when we are challenged in relationships, the difficult parts are the parts that we need to stay with. Yes, you might ultimately end up leaving. But do so when you are very, very sure, and calm, and clear-headed, and not before. If you are looking for love, this is a time to get engaged with the world in whatever way you can. Do not stay home and feel lonely. Go make someone feel better, and your loneliness will dissolve in a flash. Finances, you may be thinking that you can't take one more day in your current situation, but the truth is that you can, and you don't want to go off half-cocked. Take a slow, methodical look at your financial situation, consider the actions that you must take, and then take them. Get advice. This process will take more than one day. Health, with the reversed Eight, stress can be feeling as though it is overwhelming you. Know that you can handle it. Take a while to center yourself and to really examine how your attitudes may be affecting your health and well-being. You are not trapped. You do have control over your thoughts. Empowering yourself can make great strides to improving your health. You can do it. Spirituality, you need to engage more with the outside world when the Eight of Cups appears reversed. If this is hard for you, find a trusted friend, or a group where you feel at least marginally comfortable, and get out and talk to people. Many good things will flow from this simple action, including finding yourself more in touch with the divine, both within you, and that which is in the world. Don't isolate yourself. Tarot history. The history of the tarot is shrouded in mystery. Very little in the way of concrete information is known about its origin, although many things have been written about it. We will probably never know the truth, as fact and fiction seem to be irrevocably mixed nowadays. The tarot originated in northern Italy in the early 15th century, sometime between 1420 to 1440. Despite the fact that it is often attributed to originating from China, Egypt, India, or Morocco, to name just a few, there is absolutely no evidence that this is the case. Nor, as is often quoted, is there any evidence whatsoever that the tarot was brought to Europe by the Romanis. The name tarot is often attributed to being Egyptian, Hebrew, or Latin. This is not the case. The earliest names are all Italian in origin. The cards were originally called carte de triomphe, Around 1530 the word tarot began to be used to differentiate them from a new game of triumphs that was in vogue at the time. The etymology of this new word is unknown. The German variant was known as tarot and the French tarot. The symbolism for the tarot is drawn from the culture of medieval and Renaissance Europe. The tarot subjects are distinctive to European Christendom. The symbolism does not come from Egypt or any of the other exotic locales often mentioned. It is often stated that modern-day playing cards evolved from the tarot. This is not the case. Modern-day playing cards came to Europe courtesy of Islam. They were an adaptation of the Islamic Mamluk cards. They appeared quite suddenly in many different European cities between 1375 and 1378. These early cards had suits of cups, swords, coins, and polo sticks, and courts consisting of a king and two male underlings. The tarot adds the Fool, the trumps, and a set of queens to this system. Sometime before 1480, the French introduced cards with the now familiar suits of hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds. The Joker is not original to either the early form of modern-day cards, or to the tarot, but instead originated in the USA around 1857 and was used as a wild card in poker as well as the highest trump in euchre. It is also often stated that the Catholic and Protestant churches outlawed the tarot and all who used it in an effort to stamp out so-called heretical teachings. This is not the case. The Inquisition documented what the Church considered as evidence of heresy in great detail. The tarot was not even mentioned. After the Reformation, less controversial images for the Pope and Papess were substituted by card makers as the Church had objected to the original images. It is often said that the tarot was not used as a divination tool prior to 1781. The tarot was used as early as the 16th century to compose poems describing personality characteristics. There is historical evidence that in one case at least these verses were presented as relating to the person's fate. In other words, divination. Divinatory meanings were assigned to the tarot in Bologna in the early 1700s, and this is the first unambiguous evidence of tarot divination. Ordinary playing cards were connected with divination as early as 1487. It is not unreasonable to think that the tarot was also. The tarot has often been attributed with being a pillar of Western esoterica occultism. This is certainly not the case. The first occult writers to discuss the tarot were Court de Gabellin and the Comte de Melot in 1781. The tarot was not mentioned in any occult work for the first 350 years of its existence. The terms Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, High Priestess, and Hierophant are anachronistic when referring to the older tarot decks. The historically appropriate terms are the trumps and the fool, the suit cards, Papess or Popess, and Pope. Likewise, pentacles and wands are relatively recent substitutions for the traditional suit names of coins and staves or batons. The original Italian titles of the cards were in some cases different from the later French titles that have become familiar to us through the Tarot de Marseille and its descendants. Also, the ordering of the trumps varied considerably in Italy, where the cards originated. It is not known which ordering is the earliest one. Even the number of cards in the deck varied a great deal. So care should be used in making statements about the original meaning of the cards based on the familiar titles and ordering. Many believe that the Waite-Smith Tarot is the original, standard, or most authentic tarot deck in existence. This is absolutely untrue. The Waite-Smith/Rider-Waite deck was created in 1909, not even 100 years ago, making it a relative newcomer in the almost 600-year history of the tarot. There is actually no definitive version of the tarot.